Hi, I'm Dustin. In 2006, I started Revere Glass with my wife Rita to share the art of glass pipes with the world. Here in Berkeley, as in other parts of the world, we're lucky enough that cannabis prohibition is coming to an end. Throughout my life, I've used cannabis to control my epilepsy, and I, like many others, find glassblowing and cannabis to be therapeutic. Through glassblowing and cannabis culture, I hope to change the world one pipe at a time.
Welcome back, guys. I'm Kevin, here with Dustin, and this week we have a special guest, Mr. Gloibs. Going in on a BHO rip, and Dustin with the bubble hash. Looking very nice. Well, we're excited to have you, Mr. Gloibs.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, you guys.
And what have you brought along to share?
Today I brought my Eno, and it's number 32. And I've brought my mothership Klein to smoke off of with a nice lowrider attachment.
Very nice. So we're comparing the E-nail and D-nail today.
I think they're both great. I mean, the highly educated, we got to give credit to Task, the innovator, the first person ever to come up with an electronic nail.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
And then, but D-Nail is a current company, and they're awesome because they keep innovating. They keep making new stuff, and we're really lucky that ours has a quartz on it. Like quartz just saves the flavor.
Oh, I love the quartz. I think for everything, BHO, bubble hash, quartz over TI.
Even when you put the screen on the quartz, it's nice because it's all level.
Yeah, the outer edges are level with or above the center, which is nice. What temps are you hitting the quartz on? I know you're doing some screen rips. Yeah,
it was about 880, maybe 900, something like that. Or I think is a good temperature for the D-nail to have the screen rips. And I wonder though if it's really that hot. So one of these days, I think we're gonna try to get a laser temperature.
Yeah, one of those temp guns.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be nice.
What about you for low temp?
We're running. What are we running at over here?
760 for BHO.
Yeah, that's a good temp.
What would you like to run out for the cold water?
Cold water, around 900. A little bit hotter, burn the hash a little.
Yeah. I even go a little bit cooler sometimes with the quartz for BHO.
Oh,
like down to 730 sometimes.
Definitely.
Ooh, so good, so much flavor. This stuff has so much flavor.
Yeah, this is the
bubble hash.
Diesel.
Whew. Some 73 micron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That stuff just melts up like crazy.
Takes you to space.
I love it. And you could just like straight dab it if you want, but I love putting it on the screen and rubbing it in there, and then get those nice clear domes and
bubbles. Amazing.
Very
when you get those lower temps, you're preserving the terps.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Your flavors and your smells that are in everything. In food, drink.
Yeah, but savoring your flavor.
For our purposes, we're saving the terps in the weed or in the BHO more accurately.
And also in the cold water.
That's true.
Yeah.
Also true.
Yeah. And these are pretty cool. These are actually designed for lower temperature dabs and saving the flavor. Mm-hmm. And they're carb caps, also made by Highly Educated, who probably is the first company to make those too.
I think so. Yeah,
it was.
And so when you go in to take a dab, you just put it over the top after you get your dab on your nail, and it kind of keeps your warm air from your nail in there and lets the dab really smolder and melt and lets you use that nice low temp rip without your dab taking like 3 days to.
Yeah, just really like milk it up and get a nice low temp dab. It's really got a nice flavor compared to a little bit higher. You're gonna burn off the terps a little bit more. But these are pretty cool. Titanium, and I love titanium, but we're in a glass studio, and I don't know. You want to see if we can make one of these out of glass?
Yeah, you want to make a carb cap, Dustin?
Let's do it, dude.
All right,
let's do it.
Let's go for it.
I just put a wigwag ball in the kiln, and you can see from our earlier videos how to make a wigwag ball. Basically, it's just a bunch of back and forth patterns condensed. The first thing you want to do is attach your punny, and then once your punny is attached, heat up the hole and open it up a little bit with the jacks to make sure it's 12 millimeters, and then attach your 12 millimeter blow tube.
You're just going to do a nice straight seal here, and then you're going to make sure that seal's real nice, because you're going to be going in and heating up the whole ball and condensing it down a little bit, making it more round.
Yeah, so you want to use a fluffy flame right here, kind of like a bushy flame with just a little bit more propane in it, and that's going to give it a soaking heat, which is going to help condense the sphere down, and then when you put the air back into it, it's going to have created an even wall thickness.
Just condensing it down, and then a little blow to even out the walls, and that gives you a nice round bubble you'll be able to attach on and open up later on.
Yeah, there's your round bubble, and we'll be holding on to that.
So you're going in with some wisteria and some green. What green is this?
That's forest green from North Star.
So you're starting in with Maria of wisteria, and then add another one next to it.
So I'm just making some Marias. This is just like we were making for the dabbers. It's going to be used in all the work. You've seen it before.
Just adding a couple Marias of wisteria there, and then you're going to go in and take the rod off.
I'm using kind of a neutral flame here, and I'm just heating up the whole thing and taking the rod off.
Now you're going to go in on a stick of marini and create a marble to attach on the top. So you just globbed on some clear onto the end of the hot marini that was in your kiln.
When you attach the marini, you want to make sure that the marini itself isn't too hot, and then it'll help you get a crystal clear picture.
Then you want to just round out that clear, and then you can punny up to it and nip it off your rod of marini.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to take marinis off the rods. This one is using the marini nippers, and there's other ones like stick and snap.
Then you're just backing with a little bit of a dark color, and then you can attach it onto the top of the handle of your carb cap. So you're just making sure it's fully sealed on there, the connection between the backing and the wisteria. After the marini is all attached on the top there, you're going to go in and take your green off and add some green dots onto one of your Marias.
Yeah, I'm just adding little green dots, and then I'm going to melt it in a little bit, and that's going to smooth it out and make sure it's nice to hold.
Giving it a little bit of texture, and then adding on some wisteria to the other end. Going to create a couple more Marias for some symmetry.
Yeah, I'll have 2 on each side, and then once I have my 2 Marias, I'll take off the rest of my wisteria rod, and then I'll use the forest green to put some dots on top of the wisteria.
Just melting those in a little bit, not too much, and then going in with your wisteria to add some dots on top of the center forest green Maria.
Yeah, this is the first time we're going to be doing some dot stacking, and it's a really simple method. So what we're doing is we're just heating up the purple dots a little bit, then attaching some greens to the tops of the melted in purple.
And then melting in the green dots slightly before you go back in to add some more purple dots on the top.
And once you melt those all in, it's how people create the dot stacking pattern. This particular one is simple, and people do this that are very incredible.
So then, once that cools, you can take your punty off the end and connect up to your wigwag ball. So as you go in to take your blow tube off, the thin glass is actually going to close over the surface of that opening on the bubble. But the combined pressure of your mirage flame and the air inside the bubble is going to open up that hole.
Yeah, that's a really great technique, Kevin. It's great for some applications, and especially on small bubbles.
So now you're going in, just flaring it with your jacks, trimming the lip a little bit before you go in and test fit it on an infinity nail.
Yeah, it's important to kind of look at what nail you're going to be using and kind of get it up in there and make sure it's going to fit right. You can even shape the glass around it, especially what you should be using is grade 2 titanium, so that should not melt in the glass at all.
So just getting the final shape of the bottom there, and then taking your top punty off and cleaning up any bubbles left.
I'm just picking out the bubbles with my tweezers, so to make sure to have a nice clear lens on my marini.
And then you're going to heat the bottom and press it onto your marber with your hemostats to make sure it's flat, and then you can pop it in the kiln.
Yeah, this is for one of you guys. For crew comments on the video, just let us know if you like your E-nail or D-nail and what you want to see next time. Hey guys, welcome back. We hope you enjoyed the demo of the carb cap. Maybe learn something you can use in your own work, or something you can use to dab with.
Yeah, how's that new carb cap working out? Looks like it fits pretty nice in the TI there.
Yeah, it fits awesome. Nicely done.
Cool.
That's pretty easy to do. You guys can just basically make a little ball, connect some Marias to it, and you got a carb cap.
Yeah, and the TI ones have a little hole. You need a little bit of airflow to kind of keep your dab flowing, but
Kind of lift it up.
This one
Yeah.
just because it's made out of glass, it kind of doesn't sit quite right. There's going to be just a little bit of airflow that comes in through that way too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that guy back over there, don't want him teetering too close to the edge.
For sure.
You know, so we have a couple different carb cap dabbers here. So these carb caps unscrew, so you can get 10 mil ones. And,
One's with a twisted flat head, and then there's ones with a ball.
and then I've heard there's flat tip ones too.
There is.
That's the rumor.
Those are not
hard to
those
get.
are not as common.
Yeah.
I don't mind the ballpoint too much, especially with a little bit sappier shatters.
Absolutely. Where's that screen?
Right over here. There you are.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm. Going for some screen rips on the quartz.
It's just so nice. It's just the bubble.
It's hard to beat.
Yeah.
Such good flavor, such good effects too.
Bubble Town.
I definitely feel that the effects of bubble are closer to that of flower.
Without a doubt.
You get that kind of fuller feeling from all the psychotropics as opposed to just what's extracted with BHO.
Yeah, I feel like bubble hits me a lot harder than BHO does.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you take these long, slow rips.
Yep.
And we're going to show you guys some awesome close-ups of these bubbles I think you will really enjoy. Nice. And yeah, it's just a little metal screen. Put the bubble right on it, right on top of the D-nail, and works really nicely. Well, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you watching, and I like showing you guys the D-nail and the E-nail, both really good quality electronic nail smoking devices.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks, Mr. Gloibs.
No, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It was a
Thanks lot,
pleasure.
guys. Awesome.
Well, until next time, guys. Hope you enjoy.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.